includes the Reverse Pitches, and Monozukuri Hardware Cup. To start off, we'd like another very special guest to open for us today. He's an early and growth stage operator plus serial entrepreneur. He has elevated his finesse through high performance operations. Please welcome Chief Strategy Operations Officer Kirk Botula from Innovation Works.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Kirk Botula. I'm the Chief Strategy Operations Officer at Innovation Works. And is everything working okay? There we go. That's who I am. I am from Pittsburgh originally, which lies at the confluence of the Allegheny River, the Monongahela River, and forms the mighty Ohio River, which continues down to the Mississippi and eventually makes its way across the continent to New Orleans. But the Pittsburgh was at one time the world's largest inland port. I have grown up there. I married a lovely woman from there. I've been married for 34 years. We have 3 daughters and 4 dogs. In my free time, I play music, and I also create herbal liqueurs. I am working on a medicinal liqueur to extend life. I don't know if it's working yet, but I'm testing it. I attended Carnegie Mellon University, and at Carnegie Mellon, I had the opportunity to study the arts and work as a research assistant in engineering at the Robotics Institute. And there I had the opportunity to be a research assistant to Dr. Mark Rabert, who later moved his lab to MIT and spun out the company Boston Dynamics, which became famous for its Spot robot dogs. Now, when I worked in the lab, Spot didn't look like that. Spot did not have 4 legs. Spot had only 1 leg. It looked like this. This was called the hopper. And we were working on solving the problem of dynamic stabilization. The question was, how could we make robots that could adapt to a changing physical environment? After leaving school, I got involved in the commercialization of technology, and which I believe is a driver of human flourishing around the world. And I wound up joining a startup company, Confluence, which we grew in the asset management space. It was a B2B SaaS company. We grew and exited to Polaris Ventures out of Boston. I then went back to Carnegie Mellon to help found a venture studio. We spun out 6 companies from the university. I took one of them as the CEO in the software and systems engineering space called the CMMI Institute, which we later sold to a strategic acquirer. And I then went to run a company called Total Bank Solutions, which was in the liquidity management space. And we developed a SaaS solution for facilitating securities-backed lending. And we sold that to Estancia Capital in the May of 22, which then led me to Innovation Works. And my passion for entrepreneurship, for innovation, and working with startup companies has given me the opportunity to work with many more companies now in my capacity at Innovation Works. We are a state-funded pre-seed and seed stage investor, and we support the people and businesses that drive innovation and economic growth in Pittsburgh and the surrounding area. Now, this is Pittsburgh in 1817. We're going to take a quick journey through the history of innovation in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh really became known during the first industrial revolution, where people like Andrew Carnegie were innovating in the manufacturing processes for steel. And people like George Westinghouse were developing the air brake and building Westinghouse Electric. Later in the century, life sciences research was advanced by people like Jonas Salk, who developed the polio vaccine. And then later in the 20th century, people like Herb Simon, who is considered a father of artificial intelligence, was doing his research at Carnegie Mellon, as was Red Whittaker, who is considered a father of field robotics. So Pittsburgh, over the course of the century, went from an industrial powerhouse to a flourishing driver of innovation in deep tech. If we look at the most recent performance from an investment point of view, investment in technology has been increasing in Pittsburgh, and in 2023, we saw a significant increase to $3.1 billion, whereas venture as a asset category was down in 23. Pittsburgh was actually up. And this is an indication of the increasing investment in hardware. In fact, in 2023, companies raised $3.12 billion. And I think that was, can't see the number, 130 companies. 2.1 billion of that came from corporate investment, which was an 800% increase over the previous year, and the second largest year in the prior 12. Now, what that was comprised of, it was almost 60%, from a dollar point of view, almost 60% of it was in robotics and hardware. However, when you look at the number of investments, they were more evenly distributed across hardware, life sciences, software. But from a dollar point of view, it was weighted towards hardware and robotics. In 2023, we had 12 exits, totaling over $1.57 billion in value. And these acquisitions and private placements are making Pittsburgh a more attractive investment destination, and global technology firms are opening offices to capitalize on the technical talent there. So what's driving the innovation in the region? Well, we have 29 colleges and universities, including Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh. Now, Carnegie Mellon in the US is #1 in artificial intelligence, #1 in computer science, #1 in information and technology management, #6 in engineering, and #2, I hope that's the right one, #2 in intellectual property-based startups per research dollar. So in terms of the efficiency of driving startups based on research. And it's the #24 university in the world. And then down the street from Carnegie Mellon is the University of Pittsburgh, which is very heavy in life sciences. It's #3 in funding from the National Institute of Health, with $1.16 billion of externally funded research. And they were the #19 top university worldwide for the number of utility patents generated. So you can see there's a lot of technical talent there. And this has attracted a lot of research facilities, satellite offices, and acquisitions from major global technology companies in the region. Now, our startup ecosystem is similarly very rich. We've got literally dozens of incubators and accelerators, over a dozen support organizations. We have scores of networking events, competitions, showcases, maker spaces, and funding available for the startup community. And at the center of all this is Innovation Works. And what Innovation Works does is that we support the early continuum for startup technology companies. We have a family of accelerators. We have a seed fund for investing in early stage companies. We have a growth fund, Riverfront Ventures, and we support companies by acting as a catalyst and making introductions to additional institutional investors. We see our role as bridging the valley of death. And this picture is a typical picture for a technology transfer example. But our job is to identify high potential startups, and filling the early stage funding gap. We're usually the first institutional investor to come alongside a company. And our job is to de-risk those companies so that other investors can join us. In 2023, we looked at about 300 opportunities, saw 200 deals qualified, and funded 42. And so now our average check size is very small. It's usually about $150,000. But at that point in the life of the company, that's a material, can be a material amount of money. And you can see what we're doing is we're doing a much higher volume of investment than, typically, as you know, venture funds are doing a handful of deals a year, right? Whereas we're doing very high volume of small deals to keep these companies de-risking. We have 4 accelerators, one focused on software, one on hardware, one on life sciences, and one on robotics. And I'm going to dip a little bit into our robotics programs. This is our newest accelerator, or family of programs, which we launched last year. And there are 3 programs there to support the life cycle of an early stage company: create, accelerate, and scale. The accelerate program I'll begin with at the center is an accelerator. And what we do there is we provide $100,000 in pre-seed funding. We connect the companies with manufacturers. We help them with product development. We provide them co-working space and access to a machine shop for 12 months. We give them access to our investor network and a network of mentors of experienced robotics founders and customized programming. And we have a strong staff supporting the accelerator, including Kevin Dowling, Parag Batavia, and Jorgen Peterson, all of whom were founders of robotics companies that had successful exits. So we try to bring in experienced talent for the founders. In addition to that, we give them access to mentors who similarly have had senior executive positions in early stage companies with successful outcomes. Our first cohort last year was a half a dozen companies. They received 500 hours of one-on-one custom support, 18 skill development workshops, 250 hours of mentor coaching, and about 30 introductions to investors, suppliers, and customers per company. And so right now they're kicking off pilots, signing contracts with customers, closing funding rounds or opening funding rounds, and continuing to work on product market fit. The accelerator, the robotics accelerator, has a net promoter score of 54, which is superior to Y Combinator, Techstars, and Mass Challenges. According to PitchBook, their survey was their net promoter score is 47. So one of the ways that we evaluate the effectiveness of our accelerators is through the net promoter score program. And we believe, because we're regionally focused, that we have to be measurably superior to the service category. So that's a summary of the accelerator. But we realized that early stage companies have a problem, robotics companies in particular, prior to the accelerator stage. And one of the problems they run into is oftentimes researchers will have a solution, but they haven't really found the problem, right? They have a technology they're working on, but they're not sure what the application is. The other problem they have is the problem of crossing the chasm. This is the gap between finding an early visionary or technology enthusiast customer and the gap between that and getting support in the mainstream market. So to address this, we put together a new program. First, we would create a context where the roboticists could focus on real-world valid customer problems rather than academic or technical problems. And to help them cross the chasm, we thought if we could convene a critical mass of a vertical industry, we could gain consensus around priority problems that would represent a proxy for the larger market. So rather than just solving one customer's problem, they could get early indication of the validity of a wider market need. And so we hosted, as a part of our CREATE program in 2023, a vertically focused aviation summit. We had a 3-day workshop with 300 industry leaders, entrepreneurs, investors, and technologists. And we identified shared problems from the aviation industry representatives in the areas of baggage handling, aircraft servicing, airside asset management, workforce support, and enhancement. And then we leveraged a human-centered design workshop so that the technologists were working on real customer problems with real customers in order to, and that had been, where the problems themselves had been validated across this group of participants. And out of that program, there are currently 6 projects now being sponsored by industry companies and being supported by robotics entrepreneurs in the region. So that was our programmatic approach to dealing with ideation and aligning founders early with valid customer needs. And in 2024, we're doing it again, this time focused vertically on agricultural technology. In the fall, we plan on doing it again, focused on the defense industry. So we'll be continuing these encounters between technologists and industry participants to help catalyze the creation of startups. Then when we looked further down the continuum, from the creation to the accelerate to the scaling problem, we recognized there were other problems faced there. We saw a lot of companies at the accelerator stage struggling with preparation for scale, design for manufacturability, issues of their bill of materials, supply chain issues. And so we created a program, our Scale Residency Program. And here we provide startups with access to our high bay prototyping shop, engineering consulting, training and design for manufacturing, connections to manufacturers, and financial grants for prototyping, as well as a 12-month lease to this co-working and prototyping shop. And the goal of this is to help the companies prepare their solutions for scale. So those are the current programs in the robotics factory supporting that early stage life cycle. And I'm sometimes asked, why are we doing this? And I would say that the reason for this is that we have a problem. 75% of startups fail. And in spite of the business plans that people invest in, as Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face. And the plans that the teams oftentimes put together are really just stacks of assumptions that are essentially a house of cards, right? And their plans aren't really plans. They are just love letters to their own ideas, right? And we believe that love kills companies, right? And the tendency of our founders to be married to their ideas makes it difficult for them to hear market feedback, aggressively pursue market feedback, and challenge their own assumptions. And so, of course, we promote aggressively the lean startup methods. And lean startup was a management fad 10 years ago within the startup ecosystem. And we believe strongly in it, but not in the way that it's typically practiced in universities. And most of the lean startup companies that we see coming into our accelerators are either thrashing or they're just spinning in circles, right? And this seems to be what they're being taught. What lean startup really is rapid, empirical, prioritized risk reduction, right? Now, people may be familiar with this concept of iteratively doing customer discovery work and then validating your hypotheses against that discovery work and pivoting based on the information that you get back until you're able to create customers and ultimately create your company, which works. Now, Eric Ries, who popularized the concept of the lean startup that was developed by Steve Blank at Stanford, popularized it with this concept of iteratively building something, measuring the feedback from the marketplace, learning from that, and then iterating on that, building again, measuring and learning on that. And while that's basically the right idea, I think the unfortunate promotion of this idea, build, measure, learn, has set fire to more cash in the early stage ecosystem than maybe any other idea. And the reason is that you don't need to build a product to learn. And the concept of build, measure, learn is nothing more innovative than Bacon's scientific method. That's all it is, right? It's nothing more than Deming's plan, do, check, act from the quality movement of the 50s. It's the same principle, which was nothing more than the application of, as I said, scientific method. So I think that companies would do much better and spend less money and learn faster if they shifted from saying build, measure, learn to test, measure, learn. And you can test your assumption. You can test your pricing. You can test your market demand. You can test your customer needs without building anything, right? This is a picture of the scientific method as we're taught in middle school, and it remains the best way to rapidly validate a hypothesis. Building a startup is no different than the process that Thomas Edison went through to find a filament for a light bulb. And it's simply validated learning. And he who learns fastest wins, right? So it's really about accelerating the learning process. And when I was a young product manager, I learned about the curse of knowledge. One of the dangers that we as technical founders have is, as experts, we have that curse of believing we know the answers, which makes it difficult to listen to the marketplace, right? And so we have to remember that our opinions, while interesting, are irrelevant, right? What matters is what the market is telling us. So our goal at Innovation Works is to replace the house of cards of hypotheses, of unvalidated assumptions, with a solid foundation of validated learning, and to de-risk the companies. And people will sometimes ask me, founders will say, well, Kirk, there are so many questions. How do we do this? I say, it's very simple. That you look at your company and you look at your greatest risks and you sequence your experiments to address those risks in order of their potential impact on your hypothesis. That's all there is to it. You prioritize these questions, you sequence them, and you conduct the experiments to reduce the risk. What sort of questions? For any founder, the first question is, how do I define victory? What's success for this founder? Secondly, is there a problem our customers are actively looking to solve? Is my work addressing a problem or not? Will our customer problem take us to victory? Are our customers ready to solve the problem? Are they ready to let us solve it? Are they ready to pay to solve it? What will it take to scale? And are we ready for investment? Right? Those are ultimately, if a founder can answer these questions, they will have significantly de-risked their opportunity. And of course, there are a host of tools to help them do that. And our job is to help the founders who are stuck, unsure whether to persevere or whether to pivot, and to get them back on the road. So we've been doing this for 25 years. Currently, InnovationWorks is the 5th most active pre-seed seed stage investor in the US. We're, I guess, just behind Sequoia. We've invested $122 million over 25 years, which is not a lot of money. But if you look at what it's catalyzed, it's led to $3.5 billion in follow-on investment, which is what we consider a significant indicator of our effectiveness. We've supported 731 companies over that time and have had 77 acquisitions coming out of it. So that is what we're up to in Pittsburgh. Very grateful for the invitation to join the Deep Tech Summit here today. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you for a very informative, educational, and eye-opening presentation. We appreciate it. So moving on, we are going to do what is called the reverse pitch. For those of you that don't know what that is, generally speaking, it is usually when companies or investors or society pitch problems, pitch an issue or a challenge, and then request startups to provide solutions. Today, we're going to do the reverse pitch portion in terms of the pitching challenges, and we will start with Sony Semiconductor Solutions, Anna Maruyama.
ここから日本語で失礼いたします。皆さんおはようございます。私はソニーセミコンダクターソリューションズの丸山アンナと申します。ディープテック京都、素晴らしいイベントですね。2日間参加させていただいているんですけれども、非常に多くのことを学ばせていただいております。私たち、ちょっと会社名等聞いていただいて、なぜここにいるのかと思われている方も多くいらっしゃると思いますが、私たちもきっとこのディープテックのエコシステムの一員として、皆様と新しい価値競争ということをご一緒できるのではないかというふうに思いまして、このリバースピッチの機会をいただいております。少しだけ自己紹介をさせていただきますと、私は今日ご紹介するこのアイトリオスという私たちの事業のエヴァンジェリストをしております。エヴァンジェリストのミッションといいますと、この私たちのソリューションとがこの世の中に存在していることを広く皆様に知っていただくこと、そしてそれらを活用して一緒にこの世の中をより良い場所に、スマートな場所に変えていくための取り組みをですね、ご一緒いただける仲間に出会っていくことだと考えております。今日はぜひ私たちのこのプレゼンテーションを聞いてですね、これは何か自分のこの事業の中で活用できるのではないかと思っていただいた皆様には、ぜひご一緒いただけたら嬉しいなというふうに思っております。では、アイトリオスをご紹介する前に、私ども所属する会社もご紹介させてください。我々はソニーグループの一員で、イメージセンサーを主力とする半導体事業を展開するソニーセミコンダクターソリューションズ株式会社です。我々のこのイメージセンサー、もうすでに皆様の生活にも広く浸透しています。例えば今も多くの方カメラをお持ちですし、スマートフォンにも素晴らしい機能のカメラついていますが、例えばそういったところにも利用して皆様の生活を豊かにしていたり、産業領域で言えば 例えば安全な運転を支援するような、技術の中にも活用いただいたりしています。この中で普段からちょっと写真を撮るの好きだという方いらっしゃいますか？あ、よかったです。実は私も大好きなんですけれども、なんか自分が感動したこの素晴らしい景色とか、その瞬間っていうのを、後で振り返るためにその残すことができる技術って本当に素晴らしいですよね。例えばそれ以外にも私たちが日々目とかを使ってやっていることってもっとたくさんあると思ってます。例えば皆さんも仕事の中でたくさんそういった現場あるのではないかと思うんですけれども、例えばそういったところで生まれる課題の解決に我々というのがもっと使えるのではないかというふうに我々考えています。皆さんの周りでも、多くの、労働人口の不足等で、いろんな、シンプルなタスクだとか単純作業というのを、人間じゃない、別の機械やロボテクス等の技術を使って、置き換えていく、人間がより付加価値の高い作業に集中できる環境づくりというのに取り組まれていらっしゃるんじゃないかと思います。AI の発展や浸透によって、そういったことっていうのはよりやりやすくなったものではある一方で、画像やですね、人たちが今まで目を使ってやっていたような作業というのは、まだまだ難しい領域なのではないかというふうに思っています。それはなぜかというと、やっぱりこの私たちが目で見て何かその時に判断するようなシンプルにやることがですね、コンピューターにはすごく難しいという課題があるというふうに思います。例えば画像というデータ、非常な膨大なデータを持っておりまして、この情報をコンピューターに効率的に解析させたり、情報処理させたりとするのは、ものすごく大きなリソースと、それができる技術力が必要になります。そして私たちは同じものを見たときに、例えばそれが条件が変わっている、例えば朝見たものと夜見たものは同じだと思えても、条件が変わって、それが映像になった途端、それを本当にコンピューターが同じように認識するには、ものすごく膨大な学習量と時間が必要になる等の大きな課題が残っております。私たちはそういったAI におけるこの画像の活用のところをですね、もっと効率的に、そしてスマートにできるように、AI がより認識やすいデータに、この画像のデータというのをすることができないか、それによって今我々が直面している課題をブレイクスルーできるんじゃないかということで、新しい事業を立ち上げました。それがアイトリオスでございます。アイトリオスはですね、ちょっと造語でございまして、AI をコアに3つのソリューション、3つの S を実現するための、ソリューションとして位置づけています。3つの S というのは、これを活用したソリューション、そしてソーシャルバリュー、社会に価値をもたらすこと、そしてサステナビリティ、持続可能であるということですね。ちょっとこれ変わっちゃって、見にくくなってしまってて申し訳ございません。あと、アイトリオスというのは、今の、述べたようなことをですね、よりそのエッジ AI という我々のその技術を駆使して、皆様がそれをよりシンプルに使えるような、ソリューションというものを目指しています。で、それを実現する構成要素としては、まずハードウェアの部分、そして、それを使ってエッジ AI のセンシングのソリューションを作れるためのいろんなさまざまなツールを提供するプラットフォームです。ここでそのハードウェアの中でもよりこの革新的なその部分をお伝えします。これがインテリジェントビジョンセンサーというふうに我々呼んでおりますイメージセンサーです。何がすごいかと言いますと、イメージセンサーの上ですぐにAI ロジックチップ、AI を処理できるチップも積載しているので、何かを映した瞬間にですね、推論処理をここで実行することができるようになります。通常ですと、今まではカメラ等で撮影した映像等を、AI モデルが実行されている環境に送って、そこでやった結果を、我々は受け取って、何か別のアプリケーション等でその処理を、実際に対応するとかしていたかと思うんですけれども、我々のセンサーであれば、その撮影したその瞬間に、例えばオブジェクトディテクション、物体検出ですとか、そういったことで、見たものをそれが何だったのか、結果に置き換えることができるので、映像を送るのではなく、その結果をメタデータのみで出力することができます。それによって、今まで必要とされていた膨大なリソースを著しく低減できることもそうですし、テキストデータになるので、プライバシー等への配慮も考慮することができる。今まで画像が使いにくかったような領域への活用というのもより進めることができるようになると考えております。私たちはそのハードウェア、イメージセンサーを搭載したハードウェアと、 その上で、活用できる AI モデルや、トレーニングのためのツール、そして、それはたくさんのデバイスを活用いただくと、よりDX を加速できるということで、そういったマネジメントもできるようなそのツールを一気通貫で提供することで、皆さんがこの映像や、この視覚を使って今までやってきたところの DX をより効率的にできるようなソリューションというのを作っております。これにはですね、我々のこのテクノロジー、ソリューションというのは、これだけでは、センシングはできるんですけれども、じゃあそれをセンスした結果、次どんな世の中の課題や我々が直面している問題を解くのか、それには皆様との協力が欠かせないというふうに思っております。例えば我々は皆様との協業を通じて、ここに挙げているような産業の課題ですとか、社会の課題の解決というところに臨んでいきたいというふうに考えておりますので、ぜひ今日ディープテックの京都のイベントに参加されている皆様、そしてこれをご覧になっている皆様がですね、これちょっとぜひ自分たちのソリューションの中で活用してみたいと思っていただけましたら、ぜひ我々と一緒に取り組んでいただけないかというふうに思っています。画像 AI のところはいろいろとすでに取り組みも進められており、皆様多分こんな領域だともう使えるんじゃないかなというイメージお持ちな方もいらっしゃるかと思います。ぜひボルドにクリエイティブに、そしてこの世の中をより良い場所に変えていくためのジャーニーを私たちとご一緒にいただけたらというふうに思っております。今日ご紹介した内容以外にもいろいろな事例ですとか活動というのをリンクドインやツイッター等のオフィシャルのアカウントでも発信しておりますし、ぜひちょっとこういったところで使ってみたいんだけれどもというご相談ある方は、ぜひ私の個人のリンクドインも含めてですね、ご連絡をいただければというふうに思っておりますので、ぜひ皆さんフォローしてください。本日はありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mariyama-san. Next, we have Exedi Corporation, Keith Smolder, to present for us.
Is Kees Smulders, and I would like to change the language back to English, if you don't mind. Yeah, so I'm here today to represent Exedi, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity that was given to us by Monozukuri Ventures to talk about our company. Today, I would like to not only talk about our company, but I want to talk especially about the challenges we are facing and what we are doing to try and solve these challenges. And open innovation and collaboration with startups plays a big role in our strategy. So yeah, I would like. So before I start talking about our company, if there's one thing that you're gonna remember from this presentation, I want it to be the following: that our factory is your playground. So for all the startups here in this room, we have a global network of production facilities, not only in Japan, but also in the United States, Europe, Asia. And yeah, so for example, in our headquarters in Osaka, we have a lot of amazing equipment. So if you need some help with a prototype, or if you want to test out some of your products in our factories, please know that you are welcome at our company to do so. So a little bit, not all of you might be familiar with our company. So briefly, I want to introduce what kind of company we are. So we are an independent manufacturer of drivetrain components, and we are based in Osaka, Japan. We were established in 1950, and we've been continuously growing and expanding also abroad. So now we have 45 locations in 25 different countries, and with a total of over 15,000 employees. So our products are based on 3 core technologies, which are friction, fluid dynamics, and vibration. And in the bottom right, you can see some of our main products, which are clutches for cars and also torque converters for automatic transmissions. So yeah, our success is basically based on our strategic focus on these drivetrain components, but there's also well, this allowed us to grow the company, but also this focus on this drivetrain components also posed a couple of challenges for our company, which I will talk about now a little bit. So, as you may know, this the automotive industry has been shifting towards EV, which means that our current products, our main products, they are used for internal combustion engine vehicles. And we expect the demand to decrease in the coming years. So at the moment, we are focusing and investing more in development of electric mobility. So as we are a large company, we are facing some difficulties in the development, as our company is big, and when we want to develop something new, this is usually a very slow and expensive process because there's many different departments involved, and also our commitment to quality. As we are an automotive manufacturer, the standards are really high, and this is also sometimes slowing us down if we want to develop something new. So for us, it's really important to collaborate with startups to tackle this. So this is a huge part of our strategy, work together with startups for their speed and agility and fresh perspectives. So I talked a little bit about our challenges, but we do not see these only as challenges, but also as an opportunity to embrace open innovation and actively invest in emerging technologies that will shape the future of the society. So there's two parts of this strategy, and one is focused on the technology that we already have in-house, which is the friction, fluid dynamics, and vibration. We want to apply these technologies to different areas than the automotive area. So one example of this is that we are developing a drone propulsion system, and also vital to this to our vision for the future is the collaboration with startups for new technologies. So here are three examples of companies we recently invested in. I won't go into all the details of these companies, but the two things are important here that you can see. One drone company is from Turkey, a motor company is from Japan, and there's one EV conversion kit startup from India. So we are investing globally. And also important here is that our company does not only invest in a company, but we seek to build a strategic partnership. So we really want to help these companies not only by like financially investing, but create a partnership so that we can leverage our strengths to make a win-win situation and help the startup grow even further. So yeah, what are these strengths? I hear you ask. Well, in my opinion, there's two parts of this, and one part is on this slide here. So our company has been for decades in producing large quantities of car components and with a consistent quality. So the high quality production is one of our strong points. So, and there's a couple of functions to this. So one is our development capabilities, and supported by our manufacturing capabilities. We have top-notch manufacturing at Exedy. And all of this is based on our quality assurance system that was cultivated through many years of working with automotive OEMs. And all the feedback between these functions creates an upward spiral, helping us create a good high-quality production system. Another part of our strengths is our global sales, R&D, and production network. So we are a Japanese company, but we are all over the world. So we are OEM supplier we supply directly to all the major car makers, not only in Japan, but also in the US, Europe, and Asian vehicle manufacturers. And our aftermarket sales network spans nearly 200 countries. So we are truly a diverse organization with many people with multicultural backgrounds. So finally, I would like to show you this slide, which shows our Exedy's new development. So we are focusing on different areas. So everything is basically revolving around our core technologies, but we are trying to apply this to strategic partnerships with startups and other parties to develop solutions for UAV, infrastructure, mobility, and plant solutions. So if anything of this sounds interesting to you, I would love to connect and talk further about how we can drive our innovation further, not only in the automotive industry, but also beyond. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Smulders. Moving on, we are going to bring it back to Japanese. We have Toei Holdings T&H Design Company Limited, Mr. Yoshiaki Awa.
上がってます。Sorry in Japanese. And also, I'm sorry, the material is written in Japanese, but I prepared the English version. So if you contact me, I will send you the English version material. Thank you very much. So, 日本語でした。すみません。東映グループ、最初の、2社に比べると知名度が非常にない小さい会社ですので、ちょっと会社の紹介から行いたいと思います。皆さん、スタートアップの皆さんが、パートナーになるとして、非常に最適なパートナーじゃないかと思いまして、今日ちょっとご提案に参りました。で、当社はものづくりの企画、それから設計開発、量産、ここをトータルでサポートできるパートナーと考えています。で、本体が東映ホールディングス、あと事業会社が2つありまして、T&H デザイン、ここが技術提供と施策開発。で、あと中国、香港の方にファイナンス物流と自社の生産拠点と国際購買拠点を持っています。で、私はこの T&H デザインで営業と、あとスタートアップ、ベンチャー支援の窓口をやっております。あと工場の方は自社工場は中国ですけども、日本とあとマレーシアに協力工場がありますので、いろんなラインナップというかご要望に応えることができるかなと思います。T&H デザインは創造型、提案型、この2つを一応キャッチにした設計開発チームです。で、ソフト、機構、電気と、これすべて社内に揃ってますので、大体4、5名ずつのメンバーになります。ですから、トータル的に一番最適なご提案ができるっていうところが特徴で、非常に小回りが利くという、よくお客さんからは言われてます。で、あと、右にここの表、ちょっと細かいですけども、いろんな技術要素を蓄積してまして、こういうものをお客さんが使いたいものに対して当てはめて、 なるべく効率の良い設計であったり、試作開発を行いたいというふうに思っています。先ほどのソニーさんのようなこの素晴らしい最先端のデバイスをいち早く商品の方に、試作の方に取り込む、そういう役割がこの我々 T&H デザインかなというふうに話を聞いて思ってました。で、工場の方は総合アセンブリ工場で、ここは部品の実装、基盤実装から最終組み立てまでを行っています。で、もともと東映グループはこの CD-ROM ドライブ、特に音楽機器に車のナビゲーションに入ってたり、音響機器に入っているこの CD-ROM の部分を自社商品としてやっておりました。気候系とかこの電気でこのピックを制御するような制御技術、この辺に非常に強みを持ってた会社なんですけども、昨今はもうこういうものを使う機会がなくて、ほとんどソフトウェアで処理する時代になったので、我々としては逆にその技術要素を使って、他のお客さんのこの EMS の方にその技術を、展開しようということで、事業の方を変化しています。で、その中でこのベンチャー企業への量産支援というところをやっております。下にありますように、一応工場内には自社でプレス機と、あと成形機、あと実装ライン、あと組み立てライン、大体500から700名の所帯で中国にこういう自社工場を持っております。間違えました。あと先ほど言いましたように、グローバルなサプライチェーンというのも一つ強みかなと思いまして、やっぱり昨今はやっぱりチャイナリスクがあるので、必ずしも中国一本足っていうのはかなり危険な状態ではあるんですけども、やっぱり中国は一応バリューチェーンが非常にやっぱりまだまだ太いので、このバリューチェーンを生かしながら、マレーシアと日本でも生産できるような、そんなフレキシブルな生産展開ができるような仕組みを作っております。で、ここからものづくりサービス、ベンチャーさん、スタートアップさんとの関係なんですけども、我々としてはスタートアップさんと、あと企業の新規事業者さんへの支援事業を進めております。で、支援としては、このベンチャーへの投資、それから開発施策、あと量産、これすべて一貫したサポートもできますし、個別のサポートもできます。で、いろんな領域のスタートアップさん、ベンチャーさんから相談があったり、大企業の方からも相談があったりして、かなり実績が増えています。実際、投資をしている会社がここにある会社になります。一応、ここに5社あって、ちょっと1社の方がもう売却しましたので、今4社に直接投資をしております。で、この中ではこの IoT サーバーのテプロ、これはいろんなあれですね、脈波を取ったり、環境を取ったり、あと自分がなりたい気分などをパラメータを入れてもらうと、AI が学習をして最適なお茶のこす時間、温度、こういうものを制御してお茶を作ってくれるような商品。この商品については、投資から試作、量産まで時間をかけながら一緒に伴走しながらやってきたという事例になります。あと今回お世話になっているものづくりベンチャーさんとも同じように、このハードウェアの壁を破るようなベンチャー支援をしたいというところでフィロソフィーがあってますので、ここは一緒に今関係を作ってやらせてもらっているところです。で、領域的にも非常に広いです。で、我々逆に断らない会社なので、大体うちはこれしかできないっていう会社さんが巷ではあるって聞いてるんですけども、我々は一回ちゃんといろいろやってきた経験値が結構生きるので、いろんな要素に対して一回話を聞いて、当てはめていくというところで、ご提案型で進めております。で、今日ブースの方を用意してますけど、ここには飲食機器の先ほどのテプロと、あと福島県に会津がってお酒の豊かなところがあるので、ここの飲ませっていうこの IoT のお酒サーバー、こちらも一応2つ今日並べてます。あと医療機器のこのエッグっていう排尿を管理するようなシステム、これもちょっと今日お持ちしてますので、ブースの方にお立ち寄りいただければなと思います。あと直近ではプリファードロボティクスさんのこのカチャカ、こちらについては製造だけを請け負っている EMS ですけども、こちらも製品の方弊社の方で作らせていただいております。で、最後にコラボレーションの価値なんですけども、やっぱりプロトタイプ開発におけるパートナーシップっていうところが一つかなという一つ思ってます。 で、2つ目はやっぱりものづくり、やっぱり将来的にやっぱり量産、事業化されるってことは、必ず試作から量産への壁があると思うので、そこへのやっぱりものづくりのソリューションの提案。それちょっと3つ目と重なってしまいましたけど、そうですね、試作から量産へのその展開への、コンサルティング含めたご提案。あとはチャンネルとして日本と中国、やっぱり両方のいいところと、デメリットとあるので、この辺を最適にご提案するような提案ができるかなというふうに思ってますので、ぜひスタートアップの皆さんとコネクション作れればなと、特にものづくりで、なんか新しい事業とか新しい製品をやりたいというスタートアップさんの方をぜひつないでいただければなというふうに思います。で、最後に私自身はちょっとかなり変わった経歴でありまして、もともと公立学校の教員をスタートに、実は NEC でラビーとバリュースターの商品企画を2005年ぐらいまでやっておりました。NEC からちょっと変わったような商品、ラビー S とか、結構スピーカーが6個並んだような商品とか、結構変わった商品の企画を私が担当させてもらって、一応卒業して、地元の中小企業に移って、そこで社内ベンチャーに取り組みました。そこではこの有機 L のナースライトですね。山形大学って有機エレクトロニクスが東京大とか九州大と並んで非常に優秀なんですけど、その有機 EL を使った看護師さんが夜間巡視に使うライト。なかなか夜勤の時に看護師さんっていうのは光を当てられなくて、懐中電灯を下に向けながら暗い状態で巡視をしていると。こういう課題に目を向けまして、有機 L との組み合わせで直接光を当てても患者さんが起きないで顔色を確認できるようなライトが作れないかと。しかも胸につけることによって看護師さんがつかない。両手が自由になるので作業がしやすいと。こんなライトを実は高畑電子時代に商品化しまして、全国販売とあと欧州販売を実現しました。で、2019年から山形大学の方に移りまして、事業家プロデューサーをしながら、2020年、この T&H デザインの方に入ったという状態です。このようなちょっと方が気になります。ぜひブース今日構えてますので、ぜひ商品を見ててください。あとパンフレットをきちんと今回リブランディングしまして作りましたので、これもぜひ見ていただけると、本当はグループについてよりよくわかると思います。はい、どうも今日はありがとうございました。以上になります。
Thank you very much, Mr. Awa. So switching gears, we're going to move into the Monozukuri Hardware Cup. May I please ask the judges to come up and take their seats at the front here? And if anybody would like to grab some water, maybe a few refreshments, tea or snacks, we do have a few tables laid out in the back for you. Thank you. So moving on, we'd like to open with a greeting from our chairman of the Monozukuri Hardware Startup Consortium, Narimasa Makino.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Is it okay? Please and come back and associate. And so we just starting the Monozukuri Hardware Cup. Yeah, anyway, and so we starting the Monozukuri Hardware Cup. So I'm Makino, and chairman of Monozukuri Hardware Startup Consortium and the CEO of the Monozukuri Ventures. Let me introduce in the Monozukuri Hardware Cup. At first, so I'd like to introduce Deep Tech Forum. The Deep Tech Forum is the place we discuss how to make an ecosystem for deep tech startups. We did the event, Pittsburgh and New York and Toronto, this in January. And we also involved the startup and also accelerator investors and the corporate in each area. Today is Kyoto. We co-organize the Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2024. Why we started the Monozukuri Hardware Cup? This figure is shows the reason. The hardware startup journey is very hard. I believe the audience here that can understand this point. This problem is not only the Japan. It's common problem for around the world. In Pittsburgh, the Hardware Cup had been started from the 2015 to solve this problem. That event, it was the biggest hardware pitch event at that time. We joined this event, and we established a consortium in Japan, from Kyoto. Why we started this consortium? Why we started this event? The Japan, the people in the world had the image that Japan is a manufacturing country, especially the Kyoto has a big potential to solve it. That we can distribute or contribute this problem. Sorry. And we put the Monozukuri, the Hardware Cup, to the Hardware Cup. We started this event from the 2017. Today is the 8th times. Today, the 7 startups that make a presentation in all English. We want to build a gateway to the global market for the hardware and hard tech, deep tech startup company in Japan. So far, in more than 200 the startup company that applied at this event. Several outcomes is accomplished. The winner of the 2017, the QD later, was the IPO to the Japanese market in the 2021. The winner of the 2022, Sun Metallon, raised the money from the US venture capital. Anyway, we want to make the outcome. We want to make a startup company from now. The last, and I want to introduce today's sponsors. The first is the Murata Manufacturing. You know the Murata is the manufacturer of the electronic components company based in Kyoto. This company has supported this event from the last year. The next is the KLP. The KLP is one of the biggest science park in Japan. They rent us space for today. And they have supported this event from the beginning. The next is the Matsuo. Matsuo is a trading company for the material based in Osaka. Next is the Kyoto Shisakunet. The Kyoto Shisakunet is composed by about 35 small and middle enterprise factory around the Kyoto. They provide us supply chain network. Last is the Monozukuri Nihon Kaigi. It's a platform, the information platform for the Japanese, the largest company. Anyway, I want to appreciate the sponsor for the event. The last is I want to express the gratitude for everyone, including today's staff. We cannot do everything, and without their all their all support. Please give us a big hand to them. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, today the enjoy is a today event. Thank you very much.
Right, I have 8 minutes allotted to explain rules, but the hardware cup rules are relatively straightforward. We have 7 startups today, as mentioned by Narimasa over there, and each startup has 10 minutes. They will pitch to the judges. They will pitch to the judges who are sitting on the panel over here. And then after the 7 pitches with a break in between, the judges will go into a room next door and continue the judging while we have other presentations for us today. So from the very end over there, I would like to introduce Mr. Sota Nagano, who is the general partner and investment committee member of Abby's Ventures. And then, of course, Anna Maruyama from Sony Semiconductor Corporations from this morning. And then not the least, panelist, judge on the panel today is Ms. Hannah Jean from Hacks, who was also a panelist for us yesterday at yesterday's session. So may I ask each of you to please just briefly introduce yourself before we move on to the next portion.
Okay, lovely. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sota Nagano. I'm a farmer for the most part. Unfortunately, I don't have 5 dogs as a pet, but I do have wild boars and wild bears roaming around, so I consider them as a pet. So what are my qualifications? I run the deep tech venture capital called the Abyss Ventures together with my partner, Taizo Son. He's a younger brother of Masa Son, obviously. He's the founder of SoftBank. And Son Taizo himself is also a self-made billionaire through the founding the company called the Gunho, which is the largest online gaming company here in Japan, right? And prior to that, I was founder of the automotive engineering company based here out of Kyoto. Yeah, we started off leveraging on the technology coming out of Kyoto University around the BMS, battery management system. So it was fully around electrification of our car industry as a whole. And from there, we quickly pivoted out to the owner capacity to build the holistic action cars, right? From body in white to EV dedicated chassis, working with the Mercedes to large Chinese automotive companies and whatnot. So we took it public outside of Japan for 1.8 billion US. So that was considered sizable university-derived technology company. And yeah, so now I'm a semi-farmer and a venture capital. So yeah, well, lovely to be acquainted with all of you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Anna Maruyama from Sony Semiconductor Solutions. I wasn't able to pitch in English before, so if anyone who's interested in getting to know about iTrios in English content, I'm more than happy to provide one, so please let me know. And little bit of myself, I gave you some background before, so just to add a context, I personally don't have any background with startups or venture companies. I've spent entire my career at large enterprise companies, but my personal passion is now really looking towards to like working with companies across the globe who have whose leaders are so committed to make a difference in this world. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know all the leaders who have inspiration and passions, and also the business ideas that will actually transform the problems we're facing today. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. For who was here yesterday, I guess you know me well. And for the new faces, hi, my name's Hana. I am general manager of Hacks Tokyo. So Hack is a pre-seed to seed round acceleration program that we run in New York, but we also have a pre-program in Tokyo. So yeah, that's just like a PR for our program. So I am here, I think the similar time last year as judges, and I saw like really great ideas presented by the great potential founders. And I believe this year is going to be more exciting. So to save time, I can't wait to hear your pitches. Thank you.
Right, we're just a little over 10 minutes past 11. But I think we'll go ahead and get started with our first startup. We have Lippar Company Limited.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suzuki, a Lippar that implements environmental material in society. Let me ask one question at the beginning. Why are tires black? The reason why tires black is because carbon black, a tire reinforcement material, is added to make the rubber stronger. Tire become black instead of stronger. In fact, tires were white until 1910 when carbon black was invented. Since carbon black is made by burning petroleum, so annual CO2 emission amount to 38 million tons. It says that 70% of marine microplastics are also derived from tire dust. The EU will start regulating it next year. Disposal of tire is also a problem. At present, tires can only be landfilled or burned. Our mission is to realize clean reinforcement material in this field, where there has been no innovation for over 100 years. Our focus was on the fiber structure of nanocellulose, which is made from wood, refined down to 1 billion over scale. We came up with the idea of using this as reinforcements. If realized, it would reduce CO2 and microplastic emissions by 80%. We launched this project in 2021 with experienced member of technology development, mass production, and environmental impact. Japan has a strong nanocellulose ecosystem, which is internationally competitive. Against competitors, we are leading the way to market, also are progressing some perspective around these themes. Our project was adapted as a national project in 2022. We had some difficulties, but luckily managed to develop a new material for clean tires. The next step is to test tires. Mount Fuji and Suruga Bay, our base is located in Shizuoka Prefecture. It is an industrial area and used to be very famous for its terrible air pollution, and I suffered from asthma as a child. So the sanitary environment and clean product is my life theme. From the rubber material that has been finally be completed, the tire must now be made and tested. Ordinary material manufacturers cannot do this. We have unique capabilities in high-speed cycle from tire prototyping to driving test. Last year, we completed a 600-kilometer driving test to confirm the basic performance of the tires. The market for clean tire reinforcement is $38 billion. Our customers are tire manufacturers. We will start with an aftermarket of bicycle tire in which 100 million picks are produced annually. The product price is expected to be lower than conventional one in 5 years at the tire retail price. Sales are expected to reach $10 million in 3 years. Profit rate is expected to be 20%. In fact, we have already started pre-sales. All tire manufacturers we contacted have advanced into the review stage. We are getting a strong need for our sanitary products. From this year, the tire will be used for rental bikes and will start running on actual roads. Full-scale mass production is scheduled to begin next year. We will expand our business worldwide, starting with ASEAN, the EU, which is the environmental advanced region, and BRICS, where business is fast-paced and growing. We will spread pure and clean products from Japan to all over the world. Thank you.
How much time left? 5 minutes? Do the judges have any questions?
Kind of want to hear more.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to explain more?
Any part that you think
It's
we need to know more about?
More about it.
Well, it's okay. I have a bunch of questions, so might as well, right? All right. So very basic, right? As far as I'm aware, I'm not no professional in this realm, but the reason why carbon black is widely used is because for the reinforcement, yes, that's one, but also the carbon black absorbs the ultraviolet for the compounds not to fall apart, right? If you stop using it, then wouldn't it be a little more, how should I say, exposed to the ultraviolets, and would it be fall apart faster than the traditional, I guess, method of producing tires?
Yes, I'm not sure why carbon black have continued to be used for a long time.
No, my question was ultraviolet, right? Carbon black absorbs the ultraviolet, right? And if you don't use that, then wouldn't the tire to kind of fall apart faster?
Yes, yes. Running duration.
Yes.
Durability is most important for tire manufacturers rather than ultraviolet other against the temperature, etc. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Another question, right? So what is kind of a strongest rationale for these manufacturers to adopt your technology? Would it be kind of so large corporates, right? When they're adopting your technology, then there's always going to be a assumption of return of investment, right? So would it be kind of a benchmark against the penalties that they'll be paying for a life cycle assessment, or yeah, what is the strongest rationale for your potential clients?
Yes, at the present time, many tire manufacturers are concerned about LCA, CO2 emissions for their ESG management. So the LCA indicator is one of the important.
How much penalties do they pay, or are they foreseeing to pay?
I'm not sure. But maybe our product is better than the existing carbon black. So now we are calculating. It's very difficult and complex to sum up.
Thank you so much for your presentation. You're the first one. So let's give a round of applause for him to be the first one. Yeah, it must be very nervous because you're using a language that not your native language. Well, I have a very simple question. So you talk about you are looking at the global market, right? So I wonder, is there any specific countries that as your target kind of customer, and the reason why?
Yes, now we are talking to Taiwan manufacturers. It's because it's close to Japan. But now we don't talk to Japanese manufacturers. Even though,
You don't talk to a Japanese manufacturer.
yes, because
Why?
Japanese company very large but very conservative and very long time to adapt our products. But ASEAN or BRICS company very rapid business speed, so we are selecting.
Okay. Okay. How about any other countries outside of Asia? Is that including your plan?
Yes. As I said on presentation, the EU, European area is really important because they are making the legal action against the carbon black or tire dust problem. So we are already talking to financial institutes in Europe.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. I loved how you started presentation with such a provocative, kind of shocking, image that tells us how bad this is for the environment. I want to touch upon the impact you mentioned that this new technology can contribute to the reduction of CO2 at such a really aggressive rate. But how is that going to be realized, and what time frame do you vision for that?
Impact
Yes.
on impact. Yes, it's a difficult question because we are calculating the precise figure. It's very complex, and we have to cooperate with many suppliers and tire manufacturers. Yeah. And it's a new area, especially marine environment. So it's a new field to research and development.
Thank you.
I think that concludes the full time. Thank you very much, Lippert Company. Next up, I'd like to invite CCH Hiroshima Company Limited. Please feel free to come up. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Michio, representing CCH Hiroshima. As our name implies, we are headquartered Hiroshima, Japan. Next page. My focus is tackling oceanic challenges. These challenges are complex and beautiful, but the current solutions are fragmented and localized. That's why I'm striving to leverage data tech to systemically address this issue on a larger scale. At CCH Hiroshima, we are a diverse team driving progress forward. The ocean presents a multitude of challenges due to its vastness. One issue we are diving into is barnacles infestation. Ever heard of barnacles? No? はい。もう次。はい、もう一枚。です。Do you want barnacles? Oh, okay. The next page. Now let's take a look at numbers related to barnacles. What do you think figures signify? The barnacles sticking to ships' bottoms result in high CO2 emissions. Running with barnacles attached is complete here, leading to losses exceeding 100 billion yen annually in Japan alone. The solutions for barnacles are quite straightforward: anti-fouling paint and removal. So the history of anti-fouling coating has been studied for centuries. However, regulated substances has gradually increased. The removal process is diverse, perform inspection work actually, which imposes significant physical and mental very cost. The study of barnacles dates back to Darwin's and the origin of species, but is not die even in 2024. Methods haven't significantly evolved since then. Let me share the optimal solution I have in mind. 船のドローンが動いているところまで送ってもらえますか。その1個前、2枚前。Yes. When barnacles are attached to the ship, a wireless Atmos underwater drone cleans the entire vessel, keeping the full screen until they finally adhere. This is the optimal solution. The next page. I begin by learning about barnacles. I studied in invasive solutions from previous studies, but they did perform as experimented in real-world marine conditions. As a result, our physical approach with drones, this is considered the current optimally. So page. RG removal is feasible, but the technical hard for wireless underwater drones are daunting. So, なんだそのページは。1個前、違うな。ごめんなさい、もういいや。We partnered with shipyard and local factory and research institutes to drive our development forward. We are currently finalized MVP requirement. The barnacles removal market is valued at $10 billion, targeting a range of entities. Finally, we tackling not just barnacles, but a range of ocean challenge. throughout Japan. Interested? Reach out to learn more. This is Michio. Thank you for your attention.
All right, judges, would you like to start? Who would like to start with a question on barnacles?
Maybe then I would go first. Thank you for your presentation. I've actually know about this problem because I've used to work with the people from the shipping industry and how they are so tired of removing all the barnacles and how cost intensive that work is. And I love the solution that you are trying to solve these problems. I have a question about the removed barnacles. Do you have any plans for not only removing barnacles out of the ships, but I know there's 4,000 tons of barnacles that you're going to be help removing, right? What is there anything that you can do with those barnacles? Like turning into something source of energy or I don't know, but do you know anything that you can do with like barnacles that you've removed?
The drones, so like a Roomba. So full, like a like a Roomba.
Okay, maybe I can change the question. Do you think you can turn that barnacles you removed from the ship into something valuable as well?
すみません、英語が全然わかんない。
取ったそのフジツボは何か利活用することってできるんですか？
Yes, ごめんね、英語ができないんで日本語でいきます。普通、農園とかで石灰とかに使われているような、もともとはフジツボだったりとか、カキ殻、そういうものを使われていたんですが、今、化学肥料に変わってきています。ただ、その化学肥料がいいか悪いかっていう話で言うと、良くないというところで、フジツボ、これを使っていきたい。ただ、塗料にまみれたものをどう使うかっていうのは僕たちの課題でもあるので、そこはもし答えを持っている方がいらっしゃったら、Let's together. すいません。
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I have one question. So in our Hacks portfolio company, we also have a vessel cleaning robotics. So they clean the dirt and all the oil and all the dirty stuff under the vessel, and it helps make the vessel go faster and then use less fuel. So I think that's a very creative way to think about why you do it, the kind of like robotics. So I wonder, but that's cleaning the dirt. You want to clean that thing, right? So what do you think in your drone has to have some feature that cleans it?
Yes,
It's not going to be the very similar, like a cleaning robot. Cleaning robot is like cleaning, right?
yes,
You're going to take it out, right?
yes, automatically.
Yes. So
Yes.
how do you think it's the feature function that you, for example, do you want to use it with some arms? Like what kind of features you wanted to put it in? Or you haven't think about it yet, but it's okay.
Image, underwater drone Roomba. So, automatically, yeah.
Yeah. I understand you want to do an automated robot, right? But for robots, they have to have some features.
Feature?
なんか機能、他にその持たせたい機能みたいなのってなんかその
ごめんなさい、英語が浮かばないので日本語で説明すると、ドローンに、今はチープなものしか掃除する機能で線がつながった状態です。で、これをさらに電力を強くしていかないといけない。GPS をつけて、どこに何を見たか、これを、データとして残していくようなことを、先につけていきたい。ただ、ルンバでいいと思ってるんです。like a ルンバ。なので、そんなに難しいものを乗っけなくてもいい。僕たちの MVP っていうのは、まずは水の中で自分がどこにいるかが分かる。船に、アジャストする。これができるようになるっていうところが MVP。その次、フューチャーですね。その次につけていきたいのは、海中インフラや船、こういうものを点検できるようなカメラ。それをストックする。さらに、P2P、クラウドに上がるような、そういう仕組みを作っていきたいと考えています。
Okay. Thank you.
僕も聞いていいですか？ちょっと近いのかもしれませんけど、
はい
世界で大きな船舶会社の MSC さんとかで、ハルスケーターっていうロボット、ご覧になられたことあると思うんですけど、すでに試されてると思うんですよね。同じようなことを。なぜこれを始められたのかなと思いまして、そのロボットを輸入するっていうこともあり得たのかなって思ったんですけど。
はい、日本語でありがとうございます。そうですね。もともとそういうもの、ソリューション、多分新しいイノベーションってものとものを掛け合わせていくことだと思うんですね。なので、藻類、アギーか、そういう藻類を掃除するものっていうのはすでにいろんなところであるんですけど、さらにパワーを持たせて船を傷つけないとか、ペイント、塗ってあるものを剥がし落とさない、ここの技術っていうのはないので、そこをさらに僕たちの考えていることを試す。それをアタッチメントとして試していく。これを今やっているという段階になります。すみません、回答になったでしょうか。
あといつできるのかなって思いました。
ハックス東京さんが今出資してくれたら1秒でできます。
Thank you very much. It was Michi from CTech Hiroshima Company Limited. Thank you very much. So moving on to our next startup, I'd like to invite Kokoro Mill. Thank you.
Just want to say something to the following on speakers. So just take this chance as a very interesting experience to talk in English and to present in English and give a speech. It's not going to be your first speech, I guess, and it's not never going to be your last speech. So just relax and then talk.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yuta Takahashi of Kokoro Mill Inc. Please take a look at the slides as we have revised a document we shared with you in advance. I came up with this idea for our service after my mentor's death. 1 month after working with me, she suddenly left this world. The management team includes myself and the developers of the medical devices we use. And there are the doctors working with us. According to the latest survey, about 3 million people in Japan are said to have the heart failure. And the second leading cause of the death is heart failure. It kills 210,000 people annually, accounting for 14.9% of all the deaths. Of all cardiac diseases, arrhythmia is considered to be particularly relevant. Arrhythmia causes not only heart failure, but also stroke. However, it is difficult to defeat arrhythmia with just a few seconds of measurement with a 12-lead ECG test in general checkups. So, long-term measurement is effective. But people do not go to hospital to find out heart failure so easily. We assume that there are 3 reasons why people do not visit a doctor. They are knowledge, time, and money. Of the 3 reasons, the most difficult to deal with is to reduce time loss. Hospitals are often closed on holidays, and few people ever take time off work on weekdays to visit doctors. Our service can solve the time loss challenge. This one. We reduce 4 days to 4 minutes in the following 4 ways. At-home cardiac checkup service is the world's first and only way that determines the risk of heart failure without visiting hospital. After you receive a checkup kit at home, all you have to do is put a device to your chest. An electrocardiogram can be obtained for up to 24 hours while living your daily life. After the test, you will receive a report analyzed by a cardiologist within a week. If necessary, access to hospitals is also supported. Even my 88-year-old grandma did it by herself. Now we obtain long-time ECG data from a total of more than 1,500 healthy people in Japan. Surprisingly, in 36% of them, we have found people who require medical follow-up, as long as there is a 26% gap compared to the 10% detection rate of a typical 12-lead ECG test. We are confident that we should solve it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for your presentation. I have a very general question about this, is the price. So you didn't mention about how do you think in the future you're going to sell it for, but I think for those kind of 2C customer device, medical device, people, yeah, it's nice to have. Like I can have one with me or at home, but it really depends on how much I need to pay for it. So have you designed kind of thinking about how much you would sell it for?
Oh. Thank you for the question. We prepare for the checkup kits. At the price is about 10,000 yen for just one check.
One check.
One check.
10,000 Japanese yen.
Yeah, Japanese yen.
Do you think it's expensive?
Kind of. Yeah, but as you know, Japan has the many medical checkup services, like in Japanese, Ningen doc, as you know, it costs about 30 to 50,000 yen, but it did not contain like our services.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our service is kind of usable for those.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I think for those kind of customer devices, medical devices, usually we saw startup doing all kinds of those kind of devices, but the real problem is how you can manufacturing at very lower cost and how much you can make it to lower price to sell to the customer. That's my point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a very simple question too, but how is this different from smart devices that we wear all the time? Like my Apple Watch, I think it can detect some sort of this type of data as well. And I wear this every time, so it has no, obstacle for me to have these things on my body all the time. And it's cost included for any other function. So, what is it different? And I think the most biggest difference might be can be a medical device.
Yeah.
Are you going through all the processes to get approved for?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to add to the differences that you want to mention?
Okay. Today I invite our CTO to this session. So, Mr. Okaniwa, can you answer this question?
Okay, hello everybody. The Apple Watch and our devices are completely different. Of course, Apple Watch can measure your heart rate or maybe even a atrial fibrillation, but it's not good enough for checking your heart. The data quality is not that good because of you just measure at your wrist, and even though you can check your heart rate, but it doesn't mean almost anything. Okay, so that's why in a clinic or maybe a hospital, use the medical device instead of the Apple Watch. That makes sense?
Yes, and maybe the numbers showed in the presentation said that it's only 2.5% of Japanese population have this type of disease, and if you were not diagnosed with type of disease or have symptoms of have such things, we don't really buy these things. But who do you target of buying your solution?
Thank you.
Okay, we think that we don't sell the device to our customer. We sell the service to the customer. But we plan, of course, because the Japanese government doesn't allow us to sell the medical device to the customer because customer doesn't know that the heart failure or maybe arrhythmia is too much. But in the future, everybody know that the heart failure or maybe ECG Alzheimer's thing, then it's getting common, and you can buy the ECG device for your self-medication. That's a very good feature, but it takes time.
Thank you.
Just two things, right? One, can I use the service now, today?
I have kids.
Okay, so that was my Q1. And the second question is, would it be covered by the insurance, health insurance?
Insurance?
Health insurance.
Would it be
No.
included? No? Okay.
No.
No.
Okay, all right.
Just wondering, so do you want to collaborate with hospitals? Is that one of the ways to kind of expand your business? Because you're not, you told me you're not selling it, right? Directly to me or to her.
We do.
Oh, you do? So you do sell?
Yeah.
And also, do you want to possibly collaborate with someone? Hospital?
If you go to the hospital, but no.
That's like additional service, something like that? No.
Yes.
So collaborate with hospitals.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I think that concludes Kokoro Meal's session. Thank you very much for pitching.
Thank you very much.
And next, I'd like to invite Hapkitas. Thank you.
ごめんなさい。日本語しか喋れないんで、ちょっとカンペ見ながら頑張って英語で喋りますのでよろしくお願いします。はい。Today, I would like to introduce you to Pain Compass, which allows us to diagnose and visualize notch-plastic pain. The development of Pain Compass is proceeding with close cooperation with the medical team at the University of Tokyo Hospital. Many patients suffer from non-specific bodily complaints, with standard medical tests often failing to identify the cause. Notch-plastic pain resulting from changes in the brain neural circuit affect approximately 40 million people. We are developing a new diagnostic method, notch-plastic pain, using the thermal grill illusion. Patients with notch-plastic pain exhibit significant response to the thermal grill illusion, which we use as diagnostic marker. Pain compass capable of delivering simultaneous warm and cold stimuli using Peltier elements can be operated and evaluated through a smartphone application. The presence of notch-plastic pain is determined through AI pattern matching based on response patterns. Under the protection of patient privacy, diagnostic information is continually updated through machine learning using a database. The introduction of pain compass enables the diagnosis of notch-plastic pain, facilitating the provision of appropriate treatment. A prototype is currently undergoing clinical evaluation in affiliated hospital, with preparation for evaluation in related hospital nationwide. The device and apply set will be sold for 200,000 yen, with annual data service contract available for 100,000 yen. Market demand is being validated through interview with doctors specialized in department related to notch-plastic pain. Pain treatment specialists, including acupuncturists, have shown interest in adapting pain compass. In the future, we aim to expand its application, including the diagnosis of neuropathic pain. We aim to establish international medical standards and plan to expand sales in the global market. We plan to apply for medical device authorization in 2025, aiming for the tool to be used medical setting worldwide by 2030. Our company aims to contribute to the health and happiness of people worldwide through innovative medical devices. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Who would like to start?
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I think your English is great. My question is, you mentioned about the one case, acupuncture. For example, acupuncturists can use this kind of like devices to kind of help analyzes the patient's kind of like how to say, like the status of the patients. But I wonder, in many cases, even though it might have some you might get hurt, you feel like, oh, it's pain, but still, to make it work, to make the acupuncture work, to make some other like things work, it's necessary, it's inevitable. So what do you think? In what kind of scenario do you think it's like really necessary to have this device by the side?
すいません。はい。ちょっと待ってくださいね。 うちの、アドバイザーの、シニアアドバイザーの、中尾から、答えさせていただきます。中尾さん、すみません。はい。
Hello, this is Yoshiko Nakao. I'm not clear about your questions. Your question is why the acupuncturist want to use it to diagnose. I think pain compass can, how to say it, can semi-quantify the degree of the pain. The reason why they want to have it, depending on the level of the pain, they can change the how to treat them.
Okay. I get it. I get it. So my point is that for this is another like a medical devices to customer or to B or to C. For those kind of devices, maybe the first thing to think about is whether it is very necessary for people to buy it. Of course, sometimes we see some products really nice. It's really nice to have it, but it's not a must to have it. So maybe if you create this kind of product, think about who would be the customer that really need it and then start from there. Yeah, that's my kind of like comments.
Actually, not do you know about the notiplastic pain? Which is a pain caused not caused by like a damage, just a kind of based on the problem of the neural system. Yeah. So in that case, actually there is no method to analyze it.
Great. I think that's a very good example, like to show us, like, okay, where you want to use it for, who is the very premium or someone who really need it. So you can like next time, maybe in a presentation to make more time to explain how that work.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uniqueness of this device.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do the other judges have a question to ask as well, or is it clear?
I'm sorry, because of lack of my knowledge in this field is a little bit giving me difficulty to come up with questions. But I think I have a similar question to her. But how does this device or solution meet the needs of the customer who has this sorry, I forgot how to call that illness, but who has a pain, the neuronic, I don't know. Do they go to hospital and then the doctors don't know what causes the pain? That's when this device comes in and help diagnose the symptom?
Yeah, I think this symptom is kind of a mental problem, or if they have some experience which had a very big pain, mentally, like a trauma. And depend on the person, the level is very different, because if this device can measure the degree of the pain with making a temperature gap, and if even with small temperature gap they feel pain, that is a very serious situation they have. But normal people doesn't care such a temperature gap. So by using such a, applying such a temperature gap, we want to diagnose the level of this disease.
Thank you for the background. I think I understood better than before, but I may have another questions, but I think the time is running out. But I think for the next presentation, I think you could tell that story too, because then we can picture who that solution might help the best and who you should partner with and all that.
We should include more explanation.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. I think a lot of us might want a coffee, some water. So let's go in for a 5-minute break. I'd like to see you all back here at 12:05. Thank you.
僕のパソコンでやる。そうです。はい。はい。これをどうしたの？コードどれですか？コード画面共有。画面共有。いらないの？戻しとくで。俺持っとくわ。はい。どこに買ってください。さっきこれもこれ全部入ってる。うん。ライドショー。あ、それは分かる。さっきやった。さっきやったの。これに。さっきスライドショー。ホストのみなのかな。選ぶのあるんですけど。これでいいんですか？こっちですね。ホストのみ。いや、違うボタンを押されてもらったんです。それでいける？そうです。これ、画面共有。画面共有はこれです。はい。あ、多分分かります。はい。はい。はい。これ。で、ダメ。邪魔や。この置き方がいいか、この置き方がいいか。あ、なんでもいいよ。ここに置いてくれて。投げる。俺始める。もういいや。多分大企業の女の人と、多分なんか、この辺が多分ベンチャーキャピタルとか、この辺が多分知ってる。あ、そうか。いや、ベンチャーキャピタルっていうのは、あれ、投資家から集めて、それを運用する人、銀行みたいな。ある特定の知識、この人に使う。ノンスタートアップあります。はい。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're still running a very tight schedule, so let's move along. The next startup we have lined up for you is called FiberX. May I ask everyone to please take their seats? Sorry, it had to be a 5-minute break.
Thank you. Hello? Is there anyone who is naked here? Naked here? I'm glad to know that. Of course, everyone wears clothes. By 2030, the global market for fiber will be worth $200 billion. The textile industry will grow as the world's population increases. However, this is not a very favorable situation. Synthetic fibers make up the majority of the market today. They have a negative impact on the environment. The use of petroleum-based resins emits a lot of CO2. Like this. This is very bad. The textile industry is the world's second most polluting industry. Now is the time for new sustainable fiber to be developed. My family has been running a textile company since 1970. We have make a wide range of fiber-related products. We were always eager to make major inventions that contribute to solving social issues. We focused on polyoxymethylene resins. In 2021, the technology to produce from only CO2 and H2 were invented. We have made fiber from this material. We received a grant of $0.7 million from the Japanese government to carry out the initial research. And we have successfully created this fiber from POM with the greatest quality. This is FiberX, made from air. With this fiber, we can create a carbon neutral society, as we can reduce CO2 emission from producing fiber close to zero. In our industry, any company cannot dominate the market, even with a market share of 1%, and there is a profit of $12 billion. We have compared those two companies with us. The price and the quality of our fiber are better than theirs. As evidence, FiberX is already stronger than polyester. It can be used for all kinds of fabrics. Also, POM can be made from biomaterials now. This fiber will be the first textile material and that can be produced in 2 sustainable ways. And to speed up our business, we will fund a new startup company. We will work with large-scale company to promote our development.
I'm
And-
sorry, your time is up. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Any questions for the judges?
Thank you for the presentation. I really love the business you're trying to make real in this world. But I have a question. So I understood that you're trying to make that fiber industry carbon neutral and circular economy. And I know your fiber is going to make it happen. But I know I saw the pictures in the early part of your presentation where people dump, the clothes. And I think we don't see that in Japan all the time, but in the developing economies, and we see a lot of clothes that are, disposed everywhere. And I think that's another part that you need to solve too. So in order to envision the future you showed us today, how is your plan evolving around working with your partners around kaishu toka, like collecting clothes?
So I'm gonna just switch here. So regarding the collection of the discarded clothes, we are not sure what we can do. But once the materials are distributed in the market, then maybe even if people just throw it away, maybe we can just collect and just burn it so that we can just have this cycle of CO2 being used to create another POM so that we can just make more materials from it.
Is that why you want to work with these partners who do similar things, like they set boxes and collect clothes at their stores?
You mean like Zara and H&M stuff?
Uniqlo and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
The first question is that you mentioned it's the family business before, and right now you want to turn it into a startup, right? I wonder, can you tell me more reason why did you make this decision to make it a startup? Is it because you want financially money support from, for example, from the government, from the venture capital, or is there any other reasons?
So first of all, like our company is the kind of small family run, like family business. So and also there's to start up this business, we can, as you said, like get some venture capital support and stuff. So that's the main reason.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is, so in our portfolio company, we have this indie biotech, like chemicals and all the kind of materials. So I've seen many like new materials to use clothes to make clothes. For example, you can check Unspun, UN. This is one of our portfolio company. I think they do the similar things. So my question is, how you mentioned about 2025, you're gonna do like an international environmental label. I want to understand more about this time framework. Like right now, how much time or more money or more resources you need to get this fiber to finish this research about this fiber and then make it like a product?
So as he said, like we right now collecting money, and so what we need is about like at least 300 million Japanese yen, so that this way we can just start a company, and also we have to hire more personnel to just start up a company.
Yeah, I understand you need money, but I want to know why you need money. For what? For research or for prototype or?
Basically just to do more research first, and then after that we have to start producing in a large amount.
Okay, so before you as I understand, you already have some research on this materials, right? But you just didn't finish it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So as you can see, this is the fiber, and we still need to do more research to make it better and nicer. Yeah.
Can you be more detailed? Like what better? What kind of way better?
like to be more like versatile, we have to just make different types of fibers. Right now, we don't have enough types of fibers, so we are gonna now increase the types of fibers we can use for like different use, like industrial use.
To increase more usings.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
That's it. FiberX, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And then we're going to speed things along. Can we please call up not CTech, but this time Seaside Robotics? Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Ryota from Seaside Robotics. I'm very glad being here and making a presentation because Kyoto is my hometown. I moved to Tokyo 9 years ago and I spent 4 years in Tokyo, then moved to one small town. It's called Zushi. Zushi has a small beach. It's the reason why I moved to Zushi because it's one of my dreams running in the morning on the beach. It must be super refreshing, but the reality is not so easy. What I saw on the beach is a lot of trash littering around, and I started to picking up them, collecting garbages on the beach. But soon I realized, not soon, before doing that, I already aware how tiresome this kind of job collecting garbage. And I see a lot of people, almost every day, I see people doing beach cleaning on the beach. Then, but it's super primitive using your hand to collect garbage because we are in 21st century, tech century. Then I thought, how about doing that with robot instead of people? Actually, we have some tools to clean up beaches already, but they are heavy machineries, and I have no intention to deny them, but they are not so versatile. For instance, if on the beach there are many creatures living because it's natural environment. If you use heavy machinery on those beach, you can destroy their life. So we need small, very gentle robot picking up garbage one by one. And fortunately, I used to work in a makerspace, and I have a lot of friends of engineer. And one of great engineer, Mr. Nishimura, I told him, how about making a robot to beach cleaning? And he said, yes, let's do that. So we start prototyping with support from NEDO. NEDO is a Japanese government agency to accelerate research and development. So now we have our small labo and trying to make a robot. Okay, so quick. And our vision is making the whole system autonomously collecting garbage with using solar energy. And it's behave like as if it was a part of nature, not super machine. And some people say it sounds like very charity-ish, but actually we have spent 15 billion US dollar per year only for cleaning up beaches. So I think there is still huge market is in front of us. And I think we will develop this robot in 2 years and starting to a small lot production in 2 years. And we think we can apply this robot not only on the beach, because beach is, if we talk about field robotics, outdoor robotics, beach is, I think it's the most easy part because there is no traffic, no trees, no rocks. But if we develop the enough.
Time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the judges' questions. Again, it's 4 minutes questions.
Thank you very much. So when you come across this issue, right, before you decided to go down the path of developing the robots, like have you thought about other systems that would solve this issue?
Yes, actually,
Gamifying this whole garbage picking up thing and start issuing coins or something, right? That's also a path without developing anything, right? So yeah, I just wanted to understand the thought process why you decided to develop a robot for this.
actually, okay, frankly talking, I think this is not the most effective way to solve this problem because on the beach collecting garbage, it's not high density. If we collect garbage in the river, it's more high density. But I see some people already put devices on the beach, and I don't see any robot on the beach. And frankly talking, I like robotics, so I want to do that with robot. It's the main reason.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's actually a very good answer because you need to do something that you are good at and then you like it. You cannot just start something that you don't know, right? So I think like your background is engineering, right? You're an engineer and then you start something with robotics. You like robotics. You think about use it in beach. I think it's super nice. Yeah. And I have a question for you. Actually, two questions. The first one is who are you gonna sell it to? Is it more of a government thing that you're gonna, ask them to buy it, or you want to sell it to kind of like big organizations, or is there any image of like who is your customer?
In the first stage, our customer is government.
Government.
Yeah, because almost every beach is public place, so it's owned by government. So
Great. Who do you talk to? Is there any specific one that you already, have a conversation with?
yeah, I have some contact on the city where I live. It's Zushi City, and also it's located in Kanagawa Prefecture. And Kanagawa Prefecture is very unique in terms of beach cleaning because Kanagawa Prefecture is only one place that own beach cleaning organization. So I am talking with them also.
Okay, great. I think you can try to talk to, different cities like government and to see is there any cities that want to sponsor you a little bit on your prototype. I think that will like faster your process to do the prototype. And yeah, sorry, the other question is like, so do you think about like how you gonna make use of those kind of garbage, or you want to collaborate with someone to kind of give it to them to kind of do the recycle after you clean?
Yes, after cleaning and collecting plastics, we will sell one plastic recycling company, and we already have connection with them.
Okay, great. Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, please welcome Medi-Ars Company Limited, our last startup of the day.
Sorry, I'm presenting the online. Is it
yes.
possible? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I share my screen? Yeah, nice. Okay. I think you can see, right?
Yes, we can. Please feel free to begin.
Yeah, I can. Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone. My name is Yasuki Matsura. Our company Medlarks is developing the medical device in India and Japan. Our target disease is catheter-associated urinary tract infection. It's called the CAUTI. It's caused by using the indwelling urinary catheter in the hospital. Actually, every year, In the world, more than 10 million CATA cases are happening, and also 240,000 deaths every year. Even if the patient is not die, they have to extend up to 15 days in the hospital, and also they need to pay 18,000 Japanese yen for treatment. Why CATA is happening? To support the urination, the doctor or nurses insert a urinary catheter into the bladder. But there is 3 possible entry points for bacteria. First one is urethra. Second one is junction between the catheter and the bag. Third one is the drain port of the drainage bag. If the causative bacteria enters the human body and grows, the CATA is happening. So this is our developing the devices. The one is connected between the urinary catheter and drainage bag. Our devices consist of 2 parts. One is a reusable one, and another one is disposable. Our device has 2 main functions. One is disinfecting the bacteria by UV light. Then we mainly focus on the interluminal route of the catheter. Another one, second one is preventing the biofilm formation on the catheter surface by vibration. Our device can distribute some small ultrasonic vibration to the catheter. It prevents biofilm formation. Also, we have 3 value proposition of our solution. One is preventing all of the root of the CATA infection, and our device is not cause of the antibiotic resistance. And also, our device is working with all of the existing catheters. This is our competitor. The right side of the slide is the existing solution, but it's not effective according to the CDC guideline. And only one device someone is try to prevent the CAUTI by the device. That is we call that is Urocil, but the one is just start selling in UK at the 2020, and it's not available in Japan and the US right now. And also their price is very high. We cannot use in emerging country like India's. Our device is much cheaper and much effective. So we can sell it in Japan, not only in Japan, also in emerging countries like India's. We want to sell our device to the medical.
Thank you, Medlarks. Your time is up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Thank you. 4 minutes per startup. So, judges, would you like to ask your questions? Who's going to start this time?
Thank you so much for your presentation. I would like to help me understand better about your solution, how it's valuable to, I think, the doctors and nurses at hospital. So by using your solution, how would this process be easier for them? What is the benefit that we'll get out of changing the conventional product to your solution?
Right now, the nurses is treatment all of the things for the preventing CAUTI, but the one is based on their human parts. They have to do by themselves. But if they are using our device, it's not necessary to buy them. It automatically our device did. So our device can reduce significantly their work in the hospital.
Thank you. You're saying that it will decrease, how to say, is it the patients who receive the most benefit?
Of course, the patient is also receives a benefit, but mainly we can reduce their workload.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. So did you talk, are you going to collab with some like hospital, right? Do you have anyone that you talk to or talking to right now?
Yeah, we are talking with some doctors and the hospital. Mainly our team is both learning in the top Indian medical institute. That one is all Indian Institute of Medical Science. So now we are collaborating with them. And also in Japan, I'm talking with Hiroshima University Hospital doctors.
Okay, so what is your next step?
Next step is now we are making a prototype. We want to finish prototyping in next year. Then we will start getting the regulatory approval process.
Do you mean 2025 or this year, next year?
2024, now we are focusing the prototyping. Started the regulatory approval process in the 2025.
Okay, so currently you're doing this prototype alone with the team, or is there anyone that you are collaborating with? Or
we
receiving
are
some help?
collaborating with some
Universities.
some companies.
Companies.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also they are providing some UV light LED. So we are collaborating with them also.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Quick question, right? You haven't got to the page 14, but yeah, can you just tell us where you are right now? Page 14 as in revenue projection.
Okay, sorry, I changed to modify a little bit slide.
All right.
About the revenue part, revenue.
Okay. This one.
Yeah.
Where do you stand right now? in one word.
Are you in a year one?
Which will? Sorry.
Currently, are you in year one or year two?
Oh, okay. Now we are year one. So we are, it's everything is the process. Ideally, we can start selling our device until 2026 or 2027 in Japan and also in India.
I'm wondering what are you doing in India? Also doing the research?
Yeah, also we are developing the device in India, and now we get the SCAR approval in the AIMS. That is one of the biggest hospital in India and top of India.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Medlarks. Thank you for your presentation, Medlarks.
Okay, thank you.
And that concludes the pitching session, pitching portion. And then now our judges are going to scurry away to deliberate on who the winners will be of the 7 that have pitched today. So judges, would you like to head out to your deliberation room? And while they go ahead and decide on who's going to be winning at the pitches, we'd like to invite our sponsors of the event to come up and present, starting with Mr. Michinori Nozaki, head of the Corporate Technology and Business Development Unit at Murata Manufacturing. I'd like to welcome you up here, Mr. Nozaki.
Ah, 皆さんお疲れ様です。5分間皆さんのお時間をいただきまして、弊社村田製作所の説明を簡単にさせていただきます。弊社はですね、皆さんご存知かわからないですけど、京都に本社を置いておりまして、電子部品を作っている会社です。で、はじめにですね、私たちもですね、一つのことをしててはいけない、ものづくりをなりわいにしております会社でありまして、こういったですね、ものづくりベンチャーさん、ものづくりハードカップとですね、できるだけ協力しましてですね、自分たちのビジネスで皆様のビジネスを大きくしていきたいと思っております。で、ラインナップ ちょっと時間のタイムラグがあるので申し訳ございません。先にクリックするようにします。これ、ごへんね。はい。これは別に、科学の教科書みたいなもんなんですけど、左側がもう電子部品ばっかりですと。で、右側を見ていただきたいというので、このスライドを出してます。この右側のスライドですね。いろいろな変わったものを作り出しております。例えば、会議システムですね。なおなと真ん中ら辺に書いてますけど、会議システムでですね、この会議良かったね、悪かったね、みたいなのをですね、音声の中から、判断するといったようなサービスも、手掛けております。また後で詳しく述べます。で、考え方としまして、私たち、皆様と一緒に、いろいろなビジネスをしていきたい。ちょっと変わらないので、ボタンを押すのをもっと早くしないといけないですね。すみません。はい。私たちですね、3つのレイヤーで考えておりまして、私たちがなりわいとしておりますビジネスを一番下と言いまして、コンポーネントという形でいきますと、あとですね、2番目はスペシフィックなもの、例えば Wi-Fi モジュールといったような電源、バッテリーなどといったもの、特別なもの、特別な市場に向けて発信するもの。で、最後はですね、これヘルメットの後ろに黒いものついてるんですけど、これは、労働されている方の、普段の体調をモニタリングするといったものを作って、もう販売もしておりまして、社会にも実装されております。で、こういったものをですね、皆様方の力をお借りしないと、私たちだけでは全くできないことでありまして、こういったものをですね、するために、今日もですね、どこかでお知り合いになり、皆様方とアイディアをワイワイガヤガヤしていけたらなと思っております。ちょっと変わらないので、どうしようかなというところですね。もう少しですよね、時間。では、最後の方に、ちょっと変わらへんな。ごめんなさい。私の Wi-Fi が悪いんかな。はい。こういったいろいろな、競争の場というのはですね、弊社は設けて、やっておりますので、また、ありましたら、弊社の方にコンタクトをしてください。で、インターネットでコンタクトしてくださっても私のところに問い合わせ来るので、何なりとコンタクトしてください。このプレゼンの一番前に私の、メールアドレスも載せておりましたので、そちらでも結構です。はい。ちょっと出ないので、これぐらいにさせてもらいます。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much, Mr. Nozaki. If you want to know more, please catch Mr. Nozaki later today. And our next sponsor is Mr. Keisuke Matsukawa. Yes, Mr. Keisuke Matsukawa from Matsuo Sangyo Company Limited, who is the head of the Advanced Technology Division. Welcome.
Oh. します。松尾産業の松川と申します。ですね、我々松尾産業というんですけれども、はい、すみません、いきなりちょっとこのキャラクターが出てきたんですけれども、2022年の8月からですね、弊社、コーポレートブランディングを新しくしまして、こういったキャラクター作ってるんですけれども、キービジュアルをこのように定めておりまして、で弊社4つ事業部があるんですが、左上、右上、左下、右下、4つ事業部それぞれ表しているキービジュアルになっております。でこういったものを、コーポレートブランディングというところで採用して、2022年8月から、コーポレートメッセージなども定めて活動しております。で、会社紹介なんですけれども、改めまして松尾産業です。創業が1938年の1月で86年前になります。で、資本金が3億1000万で、従業員数が70名、これ国内ですね。で、グループ、海外含めて180名で、売上がですね、410億円と、これグローバルなんですけれども、1人当たりの売上が非常に大きい会社ということで覚えていただければと思います。で、事務所が大阪に本社があります、本町ですね。 で、東京支店と書いてますけども、新横浜の方に東京支店がありまして、群馬県の太田市に太田支店、で、名古屋の方に名古屋支店、で、ディアムという 100% 出資の子会社が千葉県の方にあります。ディアムっていうのはダイヤモンドから取った名前ですね。で、その他ですね、海外拠点としまして、中国、これは5カ所ですね。タイ、バンコク、マレーシアのクアラルンプール、インドネシアのジャカルタといったところに海外拠点がございます。で、4つ事業部があると申し上げたんですけれども、左上からオートモーティブ事業部、先ほどですね、群馬県の太田市に支店がありますというところで申し上げたんですが、この太田支店にオートモーティブ事業部がありまして、ちょっと写真を見ていただければわかるんですけれども、有名なカーメーカーさんといろいろやってまして、ハンドルですとか、エアバッグですとか、そういったセーフティーに関わるところですね。そういったのを弊社商社なんですけれども、ティア1という形でお納めさせていただいております。で、右上がですね、コーティングマテリアル事業部になります。コーティングマテリアル事業部なんですけれども、後期顔料と呼ばれる自動車のボディなんかに使われているんですが、メタリックなのがキラキラっとしたボディ、皆さんもよく見かけると思うんですけど、そういった後期顔料を作っておりまして、作っているというか販売しておりまして、これの日本のシェア 60% 持っております。で、右下がですね、エネルギーソリューション事業部でして、これも写真見ていただければわかるんですけれども、ソーラーパネルのセルですとか、モジュール。で、あとは、その変換効率を上げる銀ペースト。で、その他ですね、ちょっと最近は軽糖用蓄電池のビジネスも始める予定です。で、私が所属しているのが、左下のアドバンストテクノ事業部というところでして、また説明させていただくんですけれども、主に研究者、最先端の研究をしている方向けに R&D 用装置を打ったりとか、デモを行ったりしてまして、この一番右のところのですね、デモルームって書いてあるところがあるんですが、こういったところに最先端の研究者の方に来ていただいて、デモを行って、で、予算を取っていただいて、装置を購入していただくというふうな流れになります。で、あと、日本だけじゃなくて、海外でもテクニカルセンターを設けておりまして、甲州松尾の方で、こういったテクニカルセンターを設けて研究開発しております。で、こういったデモルームを設けてですね、最先端の研究者の方に来ていただいて、いろんなデモを行っているというところです。で、その他にもですね、こういった熱低効率、いろんな装置ですね、扱ってまして、で、そこのブースで再生の樹脂なんかもやってたりとか、いろんな材料も取り扱っております。で、こういったコーポレートブランディングで、Connecting the Peaks というところを掲げてまして、世界中の英知をつないで製造業をどんどん面白くしたいというのをミッションでやっております。で、スタートアップ支援もいろいろやっておりまして、ダイヤモンド、合成ダイヤモンドの会社ですとか、帯電防止のですね、新材料を作っている会社ですとか、あと、中国とか北米の方でも、出資をさせていただいておりまして、いろんな会社さんと連携しているというところです。で、弊社のキャピタルゲインを狙っている会社ではないので、あくまで細く長く、そして太く、スタートアップの皆様と10年、20年と伴走させていただきたいと思っております。で、最後にすみません。ピークスメディアというのを1年前に立ち上げております。これ、松尾産業のオウンドメディアになります。で、いろんな方々に今、出ていただいてまして、記事も150記事ぐらいですね、1年でアップしておりまして、今、こういうふうに広報活動を頑張ってます。で、イノベーターの方にヒントを与えるようなメディアになっております。
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much, Matsuo Sangyo-san. Next, we'd like to invite up Mr. Tomokazu Sasaki of the Kyoto Shisakunet company. I think you would have seen a logo of that in the presentation earlier today as well.
はい、皆さん、こんにちは。京都サクネットの佐々木と申します。よろしくお願いします。サクネット、ご存知ではない方もおられると思いますので、少しご説明します。23年前に生まれたネットワークでございまして、我々、金属加工を中心にですね、今は装置開発ですとか、そういったところの開発もしているんですけれども、当初は図面からですね、それをいかに早く形にするかということでスタートしました。で、現状ですね、商品の構想ですとかデザイン、そういった設計のところもお手伝いさせていただいていますし、 ものづくりの企業のお手伝いだけではなくてですね、社会課題を解決したいなというふうに思われる方に対してはですね、我々のソリューションを提供していくということで、いろいろな会社とお付き合いをさせていただいております。で、これが施策事例ということで、今申し上げた通りで、金属、樹脂、ゴム、そういった加工、切削、そういった加工からですね、装置類の、施策というところもやっております。で、これはコロナ禍でですね、やった施策の事例でございまして、買い物カゴの自動除菌装置ですとか、院外の、診察のドームですとか、医療用のマスクですとか、こういったことも、施策をしておりますし、京都ということでございますので、伝統産業のお手伝いもしてですね、伝統産業が持続可能な状況を作っていくというのも我々の役目かなというふうに思っています。我々のミッションはですね、世界に期待を超える施策サービスを提供するということで、この世界はグローバルというところもありますけれども、我々が今お付き合いをしていない、我々の施策サービスに出会っておられない方とともにですね、未来を変えていこうというふうに思います。で、スタートアップさんとの取り組みはですね、この全体の主催されています牧野さん、ものづくりベンチャーズと一緒にですね、ものづくりベンチャーズさんが支援されるところに対して、我々施策支援ということをさせていただいております。当然、資金調達のためのですね、施策から、篠谷を起こるための量産化施策というところまでもですね、今お手伝いをさせていただいて、いいものづくりを、体験いただきたいなというふうに思っています。で、これが、施策の事例というところでございまして、真ん中のスマートショッピングさんというのは、お手伝いした中で、今はもうすごく、10万台ぐらい作られてですね、すごくスケールされているベンチャーでもあります。で、これは今、我々が一番のトピックで、ウガンダでですね、井戸の重量課金制の仕組みを作りたいという、そういったベンチャーの方がいましてですね、先日も我々のメンバーがウガンダに渡って、いろいろなものづくりの支援というところで、我々形にするのもしかし施策なんですけれども、こういったものづくりをですね、世界に広げていく、日本のいいものづくりを伝えていくというのも我々の仕事かなというふうに思っています。これは日本に来てくれて、ウガンダ人も本当目をキラキラさせながらですね、いろんなことを学んで帰ってくれました。そして今日のスポンサーでもおられます村田製作所さんともですね、村田製作所さんが展開されるスタートアッププログラムですね、そちらの方のお手伝いで施策ということのお手伝いも我々させていただいておりますし、先日もですね、セスの方に出展させていただきまして、そちらの方のブースにですね、我々の展示物があるんですけども、ベンチャー企業さんというスタートアップさんとはですね、ものを形にして、アイデアを形にして、その皆さんのですね、やりたいことを伝えていくということのお手伝いができればなということで、コンセプトモデルを作りませんかというご提案をさせていただいております。我々のビジョンは、京都施策の一大集積地にするということをビジョンに掲げてですね、これからも、皆さんと一緒に歩んでいきたいなというふうに思っております。どうかよろしくお願いいたします。以上です。
Thank you, Shisaku-net. Next, as you know, we are renting this space from KRP, and so we have our Kyoto Research Park Corp Innovation Design and Design Department, Mr. Kazuyoshi Nagata, to present his presentation today. Mr. Nagata?
「本日は、京都リサーチパークにお越しいただきましてありがとうございます。2日目を迎えておりますけれども、熱気がムンムンで、この後もよろしくお願いします。私たち、現在520社、6000人が働く、あるいは研究開発をする、リサーチパーク、サイエンスパークでございます。で、我々がディープテック、特に、医療・ヘルスケア領域、のスタートアップさんと事業会社の、支援というところで、ヘルスケアベンチャーカンファレンス京都、略して HVC 京都という、取り組みを、やっておりますので、こちらの、ご紹介させていただければと思います。HVC 京都はですね、2016年から、ジェトロ、京都府、京都市、京都リサーチパーク株式会社、この4機関で主催しております。このバッジなんだろうなというところなんですけれども、 実は、昨年、特許庁からこのプラットフォーム自体がですね、知財移転に貢献しているんじゃないかというところで表彰をいただきまして、同年9月にはですね、我々世界のサイエンスパークの、アソシエーションにも参加しておりますが、そこで、素晴らしい取り組みではないかというところで世界3位を頂戴しました。8年間続けてきて、少しずつ対外評価もいただいているかなと思います。で、一言で申し上げますと、本当に今日の、ピッチコンテストと同じでございますが、ヘルスケア領域の、日本のスタートアップ、あるいは海外のスタートアップさんの海外市場の展開を目指していく上のきっかけとしていただいているものでございまして、英語によるピッチ、あるいはアドバイザーとの英語による QA セッションというところで、京都から世界へ、世界から京都へというところを目指しております。こちら、割愛します。8年間で、アルムナイの皆さん149件に上ってまいりまして、ヘルスケアということで非常に幅広です。お薬から、医療機器、あるいは京都なのでやはり再生医療も多めです。コロナ禍以降、やはり医療機器、デジタルヘルスというところが増えてまいりました。右側のテーブルに関しましては、最近含め、414億円まで、登壇者、資金調達、その後しているなというところをピックアップしております。昨年、デモデーはですね、7月6日、7日、七夕の頃にやりまして、ここ京都リサーチパークで開催しております。1日目にはですね、これ昨年の採択スタートアップ22件なんですけれども、個別商談ということで採択スタートアップと、HVC パートナー、事業会社さんからなる HVC パートナーとの個別商談と、パーティーというところでネットワークを深めていただいております。その、商談先がこちらの、皆様方になりまして、優勝パートナーということで、お世話になっております。引き続き2024のパートナーも募集しておりますので、ぜひご関心あられましたらお声掛けください。昨年は22件のスタートアップとパートナー24件で80件の商談を行っております。デモで2日目に関しましては、ここ KRP で、ピッチを主にやっておりますが、海外のパートナーからのゲストスピーチであったりも入れております。こちらがアドバイザー陣になります。京都大学の小柳先生をリードアドバイザーとしまして、こういった面々でお届けしております。特にジョンソン&ジョンソンのアジアのヘッドであるダンワン、あるいはロッシュのアジアのヘッドのハメア・ボーゲルトといったところも会場に実際にお越しいただいて、皆さんと QA セッションに参加しております。実は、先週からちょうどスタートアップのエントリーを募集しておりますので、ぜひぜひ、関心があるといった方、いらっしゃいましたら、こちらからエントリー、あるいは私、会場にもおりますので、お声掛けいただければと思います。どうぞよろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Nagata-san. The judges have started scurrying back in, so I suspect that we have come to the conclusion of our startup pitches. Are those? I suspect the third judge had to leave early. Okay. All right, I don't have sound effects for a drum roll, but the results are in. So in third place, after much deliberation, I'm sure it was a very difficult decision to make. Third place, we have Lipper Company Limited. Yes, could you please come up to the stage? Lipper Company, yes, please. And I think maybe both of you want to hand over the award. Yeah, I have it. Would you like to also come up to hand the award with the judges? Just the judges, okay.
So right.
So I think it was a quite good performance, but I think of course you can do better. But I understand it's the first one, it's very nervous. And so next time, like be more relaxed on this. I like the technology that you had in for the startup. And I think it's very potential that because all the details are written in the slides, I've went through it. So I think it's more side on the presentation skills and the pitch skills. And you know, like we have so many supporters here, VC venture capitals or like programs or all the otekikyo here. So leverage the chance that you can to like you know, experience more and then get better. Yeah, thank you. Do you have anything to say to all the audience?
Yes. Thank you very much for be awarded this. 終わりましたかな。はい。ありがとうございます。はい。ちょっとプレゼンを勉強しまして、一層頑張りたいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. So moving on, second place, we have Seaside Robotics.
Thank you for your presentation. We loved your passion and how you started your business from your passion, like how you loved robotics and you know your how to say love to the home city and all that. We look forward to building your seeing the product being developed and being applied to the places that you mentioned, like not only the beach, but in the cities and agriculture, and see your products grow and bring a lot of new value to the world. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm kind of very surprised because I didn't expect get any kind of award, and being here and meeting you guys is their aim, actually what I came to hear. But and I know my prototype is very rough and we are still in very early stage, so I didn't expect it to get such kind of honor. Thank you very much. I will try my best.
And then this is the last one. First place is Medlarks Company Limited, who is the one that presented to us online.
Is he here?
Yeah,
He's
I'm
here.
here.
You don't seem surprised. I
Thank
didn't
you.
feel your happiness.
So we're gonna hold your award with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did the judges want to make a comment about the presentation?
Maybe, you know, like he do this on purpose because he don't have to be here and be nervous. He can just be online. But anyway, thank you for your presentation. I think it's pretty smooth. And also for your product, we think it's during your process of prototyping, we believe in its potential to be more, you know, having more like function like technology side validations. So yeah, we like this area, we like this industry, this product. We really, you know, hope to see more, you know, like process on the way you lead this startup. By the way,
Yeah.
where are you right now?
Right now I'm in India because this week
okay.
I visited India and discussion with my partners for the product.
Okay, great. If like yeah, if you choose India, maybe I think you have some resources there, and the co-founder is also from there. So wish you the best of luck in India, and sometimes you might come back to Japan and see, you know, potential partners here in Kyoto also, right?
Yeah, I hope so. We are looking for our strategic partner for building developing our device, and also they're getting the regulatory approval. So I believe the Kyoto Saknet and another network you have is very helpful. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations and all of the startups, and congratulations to the 3 that won the awards. This is not the end. There's always plenty of other awards for the other startups, so I wish you the best of luck. And with that note, that ends most of the session today. We have Monozukuri Ventures Sabrina here, who is going to be closing our Deep Tech Forum.
Thank you. So there's only one more speech before we can go grab some food, continue networking. First of all, I want to acknowledge how lucky we are to be here today. Once we started this 8 years ago, Monozukuri Hardware Cup, we've seen so many companies growing, and we want more and more startups to be part of it. My name is Sabrina Sasaki. I used to live in Kyoto, and I was here hired 8.5 years ago by Makino and Kenshin, who's back there, the co-founders of Makers Bootcamp, which used to be the acceleration program for hardware startups. Since then, there was a lot going on. Now I live in Canada, in Toronto, where we opened our Monozukuri Ventures office last year. So right now, my focus working alongside North American partners is actually connecting Japanese corporations, especially in the deep tech manufacturing spaces, and startup hubs in North America. Sorry, that's the one. So 2024 has been a very interesting deep tech forum. We kicked out this event very, very quickly. I want to thank all supporters from venue hosts. We also had in North America our co-hosts who were all here. So we had people from Torres, who was our co-host in Toronto. We had people from Innovation Works. Kirk is here representing Robotics Factory, our co-host in Pittsburgh. And we also had Hacks and IndieBio, who helped us with our event in New York. So we had a great launch in a very short time, thanks to our strategic partners. Some of those are co-investors like Innovation Works and Hacks, and some of those are new partners who want to support startups and collaborations between North America and Japan. The topic for this year is the future of AI, robotics, AI, and automation. But that's not the end. We will continue exploring engagements and partnerships between those 2 countries, or 3 countries and 2 ecosystems. Our mission as Monozukuri Ventures is to connect all the players interested in the deep tech, in the hard tech, building things that take time, a lot of resources, and we know it takes a village to get things done when it comes to physical devices. But right now, those physical devices must be empowered by AI software solutions. We need to be using software methodologies and expertise to empower the amazing Japanese manufacturing resources. And that's something that I think North American startups have been doing very well. So there's a lot of potential for collaboration. Right now, we have 3 main hubs where we concentrated for the Deep Tech Forum, so New York, Pittsburgh, and Toronto, because that's where most of the manufacturing resources are. That's where the Great Lake areas are. There's a lot of talent in terms of universities, in terms of startups, and even corporations, customers that startups can solve. And in manufacturing, location matters. So that's why we relocated to Toronto, and we've been working so closely with so many partners. We are also the only Japanese VC on a global list, together with SOSV Hacks here, that are still investing in industrial tech. So 10 years ago, there were so many of us. Now there are less and less. So we need to join forces with our ecosystem partners in Japan to keep our name on this list and empower Japanese manufacturing with new technologies developed by startups. There are so many global challenges to be tackled at this point, but I think Japan can support the deep tech ecosystem with three main ways: manufacturing related technologies, supply chain disruption models. I think Japan is very good with all the knowledge that has been built in this country, but I think there's a lot to be done in the clean energy transition and some of the SDG goals that are very famous here in Japan. But we know corporations might take time, and startups have been doing it very quickly. Japan still is positioned as the give ally of the US and Canada in Asia, and that really makes a lot of sense and give us a lot of more responsibility on making this type of event not to happen only now. We need to continue those conversations. So I think here, some of the main players in those segments in the manufacturing space that need to diversify networks and ways of making things, chemicals, materials, semiconductors, OEMs, electronic components, you have representatives of those industries in this room today, and that's really rare to happen. It only happens because we are in a place like Kyoto that has a lot of manufacturing expertise. And on the other hand, Japanese partners want to work with companies overseas. That's why we brought some international guests that are connected to startups that are doing and can do much better for the future we are trying to build together in terms of more sustainable, more reliable, and more affordable physical devices. But as a deep tech investor, it's been discussed through the 2 days. It takes time. It takes efforts, but it takes a lot of collaborations. So my call for now to finish the presentation and this amazing event is for all of you to think about from tomorrow or from next week how we can continue this and support more of those founders. So some of those companies here today who have a prototype or very rough idea can get to their next level. With that being said, I would like to thank you all for coming to Deep Tech Forum and Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2024. We would love to see you again in the next events. And please stay together because we are going to have a photo for the entire group.
Sorry, can I just add a few things? I have some words, I believe, and I also have some word for people like for startup founder who didn't get any prizes. I will start first. So thank you so much for coming here today. It takes a lot of courage to really using a different language. If you ask me to speak Japanese like yesterday, I was so nervous, and then I didn't do a very good job as I thought to be. So I understand it's kind of very challenging to do that, but you are here, and then you finished the presentation with great courage, and then with a lot of skills need to be improved, but really a round of applause for everybody who came here and give a speech. Yeah, so I think it's very hard to choose the top 3 because I think there are many other startups on the list who do a very good job, and then we think it's very potential. So I think later on you can come to us and to Anna and to me to ask for comments, or we can share with you what we think you can do better in a more detailed way if you want to know about it. So feel free to come to us. And also I personally belong to Hacks, and we have a Hacks Tokyo office who offer mentoring. It's all free. It's just to support startups in hard tech. So you can reach out to Fujimaki and Leo. Can you please raise your hand? And you can reach out to them for more information, or just come straight for me. That's also fine. So thank you again for Monozukuri Ventures for giving us the opportunity to come here and talk to you guys and have the opportunity to communicate with all the partners potential. Yeah, so that's from my side. Maybe Anna also have something to do.
日本語で私はやろうと思います。本当にスタートアップの皆さんでピッチされた方お疲れ様でした。今花もお伝えした通り、やっぱりすごく皆さんのなんて言うんでしょう、思いだとか、その課題解決したいというその気持ち、そしてすでになんていう着手をして今日も見せてくださった方何人かいらっしゃいましたけれども、すべて本当に素晴らしかったなというふうに思っています。やっぱりこういうところでピッチするのって、結構練習とか経験も必要になりますし、しかも慣れない英語でだったりっていうところもあって。 なかなか十分に思いを伝えきれない、あるいはその質問されても答えられなかったとか、ちょっと思い残したこともあるかもしれないんですけれども、それはもう量がこなすあれだと思っているので、ぜひこういった機会がまた皆さんに訪れると思うので、フル活用していただきたいなと思ったのと、挑戦は素晴らしいことだと思うので、これからも皆さんがさらに先に進んで、いつか本当に今日聞いたアイデアが実現することを楽しみにしていたいと思います。本当にお疲れ様でした。そしてものづくりベンチャーズの皆さん、本当にありがとうございました。
Right before we do the group photo, which is probably one of the fun parts of today, if there are any individuals that want to have meetings or find out more about the technologies that the startups have presented today, please feel free to ask for meeting time through Narimasa Makino, who's over here. Otherwise, let's gather up at the front, ladies and gentlemen.
じゃあ皆さん、本当にありがとうございました、この2日間。今から交流会になりますので、簡単な食事です用意してありますので、また今日登壇したスタートアップの方々はですね、ブースを設けているスタートアップありまして、実際にプロダクト触っていただけると思いますので、ぜひそこでですね、直接触っていただくのでいただければと思います。では本当にありがとうございました。